Hey guys, welcome to the channel. Today we are doing a deep dive into hydration and water for day hikers. This is such an important topic and we're going to talk about why in the video, but it's also the area that I see a lot of hikers, both beginner and experienced hikers, go wrong. So let's start off with the very sobering reality that in general, humans can last about 3 days without water. 3 days. Right? That is not a long time. And so we really want to be prepared when we head out on these hikes to be able to stay hydrated, even if something goes wrong and you have to stay out longer than you expected, right? In this video, we're talking about day hikes, but what if that day hike turns into an overnight? What if you end up in a survival situation or an emergency situation? Water is so important. So this is a crucial topic to talk about. This is something that, like I said, I see so many people go wrong. Now, that 3 days is kind of assuming you're hydrated going into that 3 days, which is probably not the case. At any given moment, you and I are probably not hydrated. We drink coffee, we drink sodas, all these things that really dehydrate us, and then we don't drink enough water. In addition to that, when you're out on the trail, you're hiking, you're sweating, like all these things, right? So that 3-day window is realistically probably even shorter. So what are some of the things that we can do to better prepare for a day hike so that we can stay hydrated when we're out on the trail and be able to adapt to maybe unexpected or changing conditions that we might encounter? That's what I want to go over in this video. I cannot tell you how many times I've been out on a hike and seen so many people hiking with literally nothing. So we're not going to go into all the other day hiking gear that I carry and why, but literally no water. Just a few weeks ago, I went out on a hike with a friend. It was a 7-mile hike, over 3,000 feet of elevation gain, and we arrived at the trailhead the same time as another group, and pretty much everyone in that group, except for I think one person, was carrying nothing. No water, no snacks, no other gear. So I want to hopefully prevent that. You're watching this video, so you're not going to be one of those people that's carrying nothing. But one of the other common things that I see is someone carrying just one single plastic water bottle in their hand as they're moving along on the trail. I guess that's better than nothing, right? That is a little bit of water, but I can pretty much guarantee that's not enough water for the duration of the hike. And that's kind of annoying. You got to hold that in your hand, and it's just not a good system because you can't get any more water if you need some, which likely you're going to need more than just one little plastic water bottle. So that's also not really a great way of carrying water when you're out hiking. The next thing that I see a lot is people carrying perhaps a bigger water bottle that's on, in a pocket on the outside of their pack or even inside their backpack. And again, that's not going to be an ideal system because now you got to stop, take your backpack off to drink some water and then put it back in there and then start hiking again. I can pretty much guarantee that you will not stop to do that nearly as often as you need to actually stay hydrated. In addition, again, with same problem with just carrying a water bottle, that's a finite amount of water. Always in the back of my head, I'm like, what if I need more water? Because water is so important. I'm thinking, what if I need more water? And if I'm just carrying a water bottle, well, that's all I got. If I run out, too bad, right? So again, carrying that water bottle in your backpack isn't really going to be the best system when you're out on day hikes because you want to be drinking water frequently throughout your hike so that you can stay hydrated versus having a bottle buried in your bag and then stopping like once or twice to like chug a ton of water once you're already experiencing symptoms of dehydration. Being able to carry a lot of water and drink frequently is going to be the best option for staying hydrated while you're on the move. So that brings me to what I carry. This is a water bladder, sometimes called the water reservoir. As you can see, it holds quite a bit of water. This is holding 2 liters of water, and you can get bigger ones as well. And it has a hose here. The hose system is really what you want. So this slides right into my backpack, and I'll show you a close-up of that. So it slides into the backpack right close to my back, and it has a little pouch there so that it's not sloshing side to side as I hike, because that's really important. And then this hose is awesome because it threads through the backpack and it comes and it sits right by my face. All right, so this goes into the backpack, and you'll have to look at your day hiking backpack. I would recommend buying a backpack that has, some of them actually come with these bladders, or it just has the system to where you can store them easily. So this goes into a little pouch here. The water bladder is something that I usually put in my backpack first before all my other gear. And it actually clips in so that it doesn't slide down, it doesn't move side to side, because that's not going to be comfortable as you're hiking. And then this actually feeds through, there's a little slot here, and it will come out the back of the bag, which if I have to complain about one thing about this bag, it is this slot is like nearly impossible. So it's gonna come through the backpack, and then I can zip all this up. And now you can put this on either side of your shoulder, and I just slide it through this little strap here. Now the water bladder is in my backpack and the hose is coming down here by my face. Guess what? Now, as I'm hiking along, it is super easy for me to sip on water frequently throughout my hike. I don't even need to stop, and it has a little lock. You know, you twist it to lock it so that if you set your bag down or something, it doesn't leak water everywhere. And it sort of sits in my peripheral vision, so I remember, oh, keep drinking water, there's water here. And it just makes it so easy and convenient to both drink a lot of water and carry a lot of water when you're out hiking. So this is kind of where I think a lot of people stop. They have a big water bladder, fill that thing up, and they go out on their day hikes. But again, this is a finite amount of water. And what if you need more, right? So we want to take it a step further and have a way to get more safe drinking water when we're actually out on the trail. So one of the things that I am doing in order to prepare myself to be able to get more water when I'm out on the trail is a lot of research. And before every single hike, there is a ton of research that I'm doing to prepare myself. One of those things is looking for if and where there are water sources along the hike. So for example, am I going on a hike that goes up to an alpine lake? Am I going to be hiking on a trail that parallels a stream the entire way? Or do I cross a river at some point? Are these water sources year round? So I'm really looking at the landscape, I'm looking at the hike, and I'm trying to figure out where water sources will be along that hike so that I know I can get more water if I need it with the appropriate gear that we'll talk about in a second. This is a really important piece of information to have. And if you're hiking in the desert, which I do a lot of hiking in southern Utah in the desert, and sometimes the answer to that research is there is no water source. And that's also important information to know, because then you can better assess the risk of what you're doing. But chances are there's probably, unless again you're in the desert, there's probably water sources that you're passing along the way or hiking up to, and you want to know where they are so that you can tap into them if you need to. So let's say I'm hiking up to an alpine lake and I get to the top there and I am out of water and I want to get some more water. I can't just go and fill up my reservoir in some lake somewhere, right? There's all sorts of things that you just don't want to be drinking in water. So we need a way to purify or filter the water so that's safe to drink. And that's where I carry a water filter. Now, I'm not going to go into all the many different options of filtering and purification. I'm just going to show you what I do. I carry the Sawyer Squeeze, and you'll have to do your own research, like I said, on all the different options and what might be best for you. I love the Sawyer Squeeze. I've been using this for years. It's going to be hard to take me away from this because I really love it. It's super lightweight, it's durable, it works really well, the flow rate is good, it's small, it hardly takes up any space. I also have these little bags that it comes with. So this is my dirty bag. And I will fill this up with the water from that alpine lake in our example and twist it on here. And then out will come clean drinking water. I can filter directly into my reservoir, which is what I do. I have an adapter that connects to this, and then I can just get fresh drinking water along my hike. If I'm hiking along a stream or crossing a little river or stream or whatever it is, I can easily get more drinking water. And so this thing, it's just so small and lightweight. It's like, why not carry one? It's not something that I think a lot of day hikers think about, because like I said, I think the mentality is, well, I can just carry all the water I'm going to need for a day hike. And yes, while that may be true, again, you got to ask yourself, since you only got a 3-day window to work with, what if I need to stay out here longer? How can I get more water? So something so simple and affordable as this, it's like, why not carry it, right? Now, with any of your gear, It is so important that you take the time to really understand how it works, how to use it properly, how to store it, and all that kind of stuff, because you don't want to just buy something like this, chuck it in your backpack, and hope you'll figure out how to use it when you're out there and you actually need it. So whatever gear that you do decide to take, you always want to make sure that you really spend some time reading the instructions and learning how to use it and take care of it properly. That's super, super important. So, this type of thing isn't even just for if you are in an emergency or survival situation. It's also sometimes just so nice to be able to filter really cold water coming down through the mountains. And I do that all the time because the water in your reservoir will get kind of just like warm or room temperature. It's sitting right by your back. And sometimes it's really nice to be able to fill up from that cold water coming down from a stream, that snow melt, and get ice cold water to drink on a hot day. It's so nice. So I use this a lot just for that kind of enjoyment of being able to get cold water when I'm actually out hiking. All right, let's take this even further. I told you we're going deep today in all things hydration and water for day hikers. And this brings me to an old adage: 2 is 1, 1 is none. So for any of your essential life-saving survival gear, such as your ability to get clean drinking water, 2 is 1, 1 is none. In other words, you really want backups of these life-saving systems and pieces of gear. What if this breaks? What if I'm dependent on this and I lose it, I drop it, it just isn't working? I want to have some sort of backup in order to get me through that survival situation. For me, for a backup, I personally choose to carry water purification tablets, and just gives me something else, like an extra layer to my crucial gear. I've never had to tap into them because part of your pre-hike preparation is making sure that your gear is working properly. And like I said, taking really good care of things. So luckily I've never had to use my backup for my filter, but I like the peace of mind knowing that it's there. So I'm always checking to make sure that this is working properly before I head out on the trail, so that I don't end up in a situation where I'm like carrying this thing, but it's like broken for some reason, I can't figure out why, or whatever it may be. Like, I want to check, make sure things are working smoothly as I'm packing my gear at home. In addition to me carrying a backup to my system here, Nick and I hike together all the time, and Nick also carries one of these. It's a great thing for every single person in your group to have. I do not like being dependent on other people in my group to carry something as crucial as a water filter and a way to get more clean water. Again, it's so small, it's so lightweight. It's like, why not everyone carry it? And then within that group, you have multiple backups of this stuff. So it's just something to keep in mind if you are hiking with friends and family, like encouraging everyone to think through this stuff and really be prepared all on their own in case someone gets separated or whatever it is. I want to hit the trail self-sufficient and confident with the gear that I'm packing and that I know how to use it. So with this setup, I both can carry a good amount of water, sip on it and drink it frequently throughout the hike, and I can get more water if I need to from nearby streams or lakes that I might be hiking by. So this is a great system that works really well for me when I head out on my day hikes, and I love the peace of mind of knowing I have backups to these systems and that I can get more water. Again, that research at home is going to be crucial so that you know where water sources are along your hike should you need to tap into them. The last thing that I want to just touch upon is when you're sweating a lot and it's really hot and sunny and all that kind of stuff, you're losing more than just water, right? You're losing salts, and so you want to carry perhaps some electrolytes as well to help you stay hydrated. So it's not always just water, but also those electrolytes will help you retain water and, like I said, just stay hydrated better. So I carry electrolyte tablets or powders in my backpack. And if you want me to make another video on the ones that I have tried and that I really like and why and all that kind of stuff, I'm happy to do that. Just comment below if you'd like to see a video specifically on electrolytes that I carry. But that is just another piece of gear, another part of the hydration puzzle that is important to mention. So that really rounds out kind of everything I know about water for day hikers and some of the ways that I'm preparing for unexpected situations when it comes to water out on the trail. You are responsible for yourself. It is so important to take care of yourself when you're actually out on the trail and listen to your body and be proactive in staying hydrated and healthy. Hydration also really starts at home, right? Like, you don't want to chug 2 cups of coffee at 6 a.m. and then just like start a hike. I'm always thinking about like drinking water and having a good meal and starting off a hike hydrated and well fed so that I can have a good, safe experience when I'm out there. So you have to listen to yourself and be proactive if you're with a group. If you need to stop and take a break, speak up, say so, and make sure that you're drinking water, because other people aren't going to be as aware of how you feel as you would be, right? So you're responsible for yourself. Drink before you're thirsty. Be proactive in taking breaks and going at a good pace on your hike so that you can stay hydrated and not get dehydrated and burnt out and all that stuff. So I hope this video was helpful. If you liked it, make sure to give it a thumbs up and share it with a friend. Share it with a hiking buddy or family member, people that you go outside with often. What is the biggest takeaway that you got from this video? I'd love to chat with you in the comments below. So make sure to say hi there and subscribe to my channel for more hiking and camping content.